Yo, what's up?
Good? Yo, man, we back in here, man, one more time on the D&D Level Up Podcast. Y'all understand?
Let's get
going. We're going to get straight into it, man.
Yeah, bro.
Can y'all believe this world news going on right now? Anybody getting on the submarine anytime soon?
No, we're not doing it.
I don't think so.
We ain't
Not
gonna do
doing
it.
it.
We're not gonna do it.
Not doing it.
So we get
Sorry, there's too much stuff wrapped around this, man.
Yeah.
Okay?
OceanGate.
Okay, definitely OceanGate.
So it's like Watergate, right?
Look, understand, y'all. Is that the name of the thing?
Yeah, it's called OceanGate.
Oh my god!
Isn't that weird?
I thought you were making
I didn't even think
a
about
reference
that.
to Watergate.
No, it's OceanGate, which is kind of weird, right?
It's really weird because everybody, please remember, we don't have no pictures of this thing right now.
No, we don't know pictures for you.
There's no video of them going down.
Yeah.
I was watching. I don't know if y'all watched the interview with Charleston White.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Charleston White.
Charles.
Right? Where he's making all type of sense to me because I'm into a little bit of the conspiracy side of things. There's no pictures or videos of them casting off. Nobody took a video of them leaving.
Yeah.
These are millionaires, if not.
Well, there was a billionaire on there that was with his son. There was another person who was individual who was a very experienced captain that was on the ship. Of course, Stockton Rush. But Stockton Rush graduated from Princeton. He had an engineering degree. He had created other submersibles before this. He had created planes before this. But I got some deep stuff that he said on here that just, like, it defies all knowledge. This is what the man said. The man said safety is waste. It's a waste of time.
Ooh. And
then the man was like, you know, he basically was saying that, you know, if you take a risk, you could take risk going into your car, going into a plane. But he was supposedly one of his employees said, I don't think this is safe, and got fired for it.
Oh.
So there were a certain amount of things that make this whole situation really terrible, right?
Crazy.
He said, I can do this safely by breaking the rules. That's a quote from the man. I can do this safely by breaking the rules. Now, if you don't know about the submersible, it was made up of three different separate materials. It was titanium, there's carbon fiber, and then there was also the holes, which was made of another substance I can tell you guys later.
Right.
But with that portion, so you you have the hole that has the actual thing where you can see out. You really could see out.
The porthole.
The porthole. So that was made of a different substance as well. So you have three different substances. Usually a submarine has no holes at all because any type of cracks can get in and of course implode, because supposedly imploded from the inside. You know what I'm saying? And crushed completely, destroyed, right? So you had those three. Oh, it was plexiglass. And so, which is the weird part about it, is this man was using like general materials, like normal materials for this. They were like, why are you using like store-bought stuff
to go somewhere we've never been?
We've never been. Not only that,
but we can barely go.
Bro, there was one button, on and off button on the
that freaked me out.
Bro, now you know what freaked me out the most? He had a game controller to steer. A PlayStation controller to steer the submarine. So he said, oh, it doesn't matter if we go cheap on these things because this is better because you have the whole submersible is covered in carbon fiber and titanium, so it should be good. But when they had a sea captain that had experience in the Navy, who's been a submarine commander, he was like, you have too many different materials that probably don't work together because of, you have compression. You know what I'm saying? You know how people don't understand that when you go on a bridge, right? The bridge, the concrete breathes. It has to do that on a bridge, or so if it's brittle, it'll break apart. People don't realize that. Concrete breathes and moves. You just don't feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it does. So it has to have a certain amount of expression within itself or a contraction to be able to stay pliable in order for it not to break up. When you combine different materials together and then they don't coincide with each other, they have their different levels of expansion. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I'm like, man, what millionaire
or billionaire
gets on a submersible like this?
Exactly.
And doesn't I don't see that. I don't see how you make it to a billionaire being
stupid.
Yeah, there we go. Being a fool.
Being stupid.
Let me call it. That's stupid.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
It was stupid.
I'm sorry for the family. I'm sorry for what happened, but that was a bad move.
It was.
If it happened at all, that's what I like to say. I'm like, they claiming it happened. I don't see any video of the submersible. I don't see the submersible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It could be they could be doing a whole nother Titanic. And if y'all don't know the story of the Titanic, they gotta look it up.
Yeah.
There's 2 ships.
Oh really?
Yeah.
A what?
Oh, just in case. Sir, you don't know.
Reveal, bro. Reveal.
There's 2 ships.
Mm-hmm.
They're twins.
Okay.
The ships are twins. Mm-hmm. One was the Titanic and one was named something else. Mm-hmm. Now, supposedly, the nameplates were switched for insurance purposes.
Interesting.
The other ship had already messed up something on it, and they switched the tag so that they can get the other one going.
What?
They switched the names.
Interesting.
Name tag on the boats, but they mirror each other.
Yeah.
So they're sending this ship out. Now this ship is not just about the ship; it's about the people on the ship.
Yeah, of course.
There's certain millionaires and billionaires. There's certain millionaires on this boat. Certain millionaires that got invited.
What?
To be on the Titanic.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
One particular millionaire got invited but did not go. And ended up being one of the biggest
is that
millionaires and billionaires out here. What was it? Who was it? Oh man, don't make me do this. I gotta look up. I know
who it is. I think I know who it is.
Yeah, look it up.
Was it JP Morgan?
JP Morgan.
Yeah.
JP Morgan gets invited. There's a meeting before the Titanic sets out with a bunch of millionaires.
Yeah.
That they say that meeting was about who got invited.
What?
To the Titanic, to be on Titanic.
Wow.
So this turns these people going down the Titanic turns the tables for basically the whole economic system that we live in right now.
Wow, that's crazy, bro.
So because they went down, certain things were able to happen for JP Morgan.
Of course, because that's leveraging, right?
That's leveraging. Like it got rid. They
got rid of one person.
Got rid of one situation and created a better situation for themselves. So if the Titanic went down on its own, that's cool. But if it didn't, this is like an homage to it.
Bro, this like everything is about money.
There's a millionaire that went down somewhere. There's millionaires going
missing all the time. Bro, there's millionaires that go missing all the time.
What were we talking about? Who's the guy that just I think he got murdered or missing? The Cash App. The guy in the Cash App. Yeah. He's going to win.
Of course. Yeah. But you see, this is the thing. This is what I feel like. I feel like there's always a higher agenda. And I think if you are like this guy Stockton Rush, right? This guy was like kind of a rebel type of individual. And I think at a certain level, like there's a certain level where you have to, even if you're a billionaire or millionaire, there's a structure that's in place. And that structure tells you, like, you're good, you can go so here unless you do what we tell you to do. And if you don't do that, we'll make you disappear. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the way, because if you go online, you start looking at the way he compared himself to Elon Musk, like he has ideas, like you could tell he said crazy people are always seen as, out the box. So when people are out the box, sometimes they just don't listen to anybody just because of their personality. Yeah. And when I started looking at the research on this thing had like seven different fail-safe systems, and it had checklists. It had certain things. If they were not, 3 things were not done out of the checklist, then they would abort completely. They had only 12 trips to this situation, to the Titanic, right? And it was $250,000 to go on this for your ticket.
So you know the type of people that were on there.
Exactly. So you know the type of individuals who are on there, but at the same time, it's like if you start looking at it from the perspective of like wisdom, there's things not in place that all these factors with just his personality, you don't know what's gonna trigger one situation in the market just because of this situation. Who knows what he would have done with this, in the market, what he's doing. He might have other plans.
He might have been too volatile for the market, and they say, nah, man, look.
Exactly.
You can't be here.
You can't be here. You can't exist because what's going on. Did you hear about the situation where they were talking about, remember that individual who was working on the hydrogen car?
Oh yeah, you talking about the guy that worked at the dollar store?
Yeah.
He was working at a store, and he invented like a way to power your car with hydrogen and water.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And he lets this out on the internet, and a lot of people, if you got something like that, you don't share that.
You don't share that with
the
anybody.
Entire
you keep that to yourself.
World.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You start a small revolution or something. But
exactly.
But even then, he supposedly gets. He doesn't supposedly. He gets shot by some random
in a mass shooting.
Some random dude in a mass shooting.
Yeah. Exactly.
He gets shot.
Yeah.
Because I think he was security there.
Was he security? I think he was security.
We'll go find out. He was security.
We'll find out for y'all.
Right? So he gets out of all the people to pass, he passes.
Yeah.
And now we hear nothing about this invention anymore.
But see, this is the thing. I remember this lady that I knew. She told me she invented a specific invention. The government, and she worked for the government at a certain time. The government said, "We're taking this over." You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna take the licensing and everything. And she was like, "I couldn't do anything about it." She said, "I could not." They just literally just took it, and it was theirs, and that was it. And I realized at a certain point, you can only make money in certain many ways. One of the ways of making money, just like anybody else, is inventing something. But protecting your invention with licensing and doing it officially and all these other things, you got to do all that stuff in secret.
Do all that
as much as you can.
And while you're doing that, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. If you made it this far, support us by hitting that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the podcast. We love to hear what you got to say.
Absolutely. So, hey, bro. So, you have anything else you want to say on that?
Man, this not on you getting on the submarine, man?
No. I ain't doing
cool. I need to know.
I ain't doing it. But see, this is the thing. Black people don't do these things, bro.
Look, man.
We don't do that stuff.
I'm not getting on a submarine with the same controller I have for my PS4.
Exactly. Never happened. But see, the thing is, these are white people issues, right? Because you never gonna see a black billionaire on one of these submersibles because we're not that bored. I felt like it's like think about this guy. There was another son. This other guy who was a billionaire. He had a son. He's brought his son on there to go see the trip, bro. You could send a submersible down there unmanned. I would look at it on video. They really couldn't see that much through the plexiglass, which probably was the whole reason why the thing freaking imploded in the first place, if it even happened. Because they basically had a camera in that small little plexiglass hole, right? Most likely, he probably wouldn't. Who knows? I don't know. Because titanium is very strong. I don't know about carbon fiber.
But I believe it's how you put it together.
Exactly.
It's how you put it together. It's an unfortunate event. God bless all those that have passed from it. You know. But at the same time, like, there's just certain things you don't do.
Exactly. To me, it didn't make any common sense. And the thing about it is like this: if you're ignoring all safety protocols, you have safety protocols that are good for you. But see, I'll give you an example. He was approached by a company to do a safety evaluation on the whole submersible, and he said, "No, I don't want to do that." And the reason why he didn't want to do that because he wanted to be regulated and shut down. So, which is understandable, but at the same time, like, he's like, well, if you take chances, you're taking chances every day and driving in a plane and a car. Yeah, but there are certain things in place to keep you alive, like airbags. You know what I'm saying? Other things. You're taking a chance, but there's the risk as opposed to the safety is going to be higher than the risk. He was focusing on on the fact that I'm going to take this risk. I don't care what anybody else says. That's when you have too much money. You don't care to listen to what other people say.
Nah, you don't, because you didn't make it that far listening to everybody else at the same time. But you know, I think it's just an unfortunate event, bro.
Yeah,
it's a really unfortunate event.
But see, when we talk about leveling up, a lot of stuff in our life is due to self-inflicted wounds. We're trying to level up a certain amount of things. There's mistakes that you're making sometimes off of things that you're thinking about in the past, not in the present, or understanding a plan for the future. It's almost like, you know, there's certain things we know can go right in our lives. But we don't plan, we neglect them. Like, there's certain things, like, if you know they're sending you, FP&L sending you that bill, we're going to cut your lights
if you know,
in 2 weeks.
If you
better
know,
get an extension.
If you know, like I know, you better get your extension. You
better
call.
get you an extension. Call them.
Call them.
You see it, and see people, well, now, if you have the money to pay for it, pay for it. But guess what? Sometimes I had the money for things I don't want to pay for.
Sometimes, sometimes you got to be like the rich, you got to negotiate.
Exactly.
Negotiate everything.
Negotiate.
And call them and be like, hey, what can I pay you right now?
Exactly.
I don't want to pay you all this.
Exactly.
Sometimes you just don't want to pay them.
You just don't feel like it.
You just don't feel like it.
You
don't want to. Like I don't want to pay you all of this. How do I know you're charging me this much?
Exactly. How do I know?
That's the next thing we're going to get into, man. Next we're going to get into these solar panels and these solar companies that show up to your house and bug you until you put a solar panel on your roof that doesn't work.
What?
Oh, man.
I didn't know that.
It's a whole. I know. It's a whole thing right now, bro.
Really? And they don't work,
bro. Like they'll get you to put the panels on your roof, right? They warranty them for a certain while, and then you're financing the solar panels,
of course,
that are attached to your house.
Yeah.
And then it's supposed to provide you with power enough to almost send back to the power company, which is weird.
Wow, they want you.
Which is weird. I don't know how power, how they gauge how much power comes back through the lines. To come back to the power department. Yeah. Now this is sound like some smoke and mirror stuff, bro. I'm trying to remember what was something else that was like real smoke and mirrors, bro. That was real crazy that they kept selling us, and we found out years later it was a bunch of malarkey. It's a bunch of bull crap. So there's some people that are putting these things on their roof, getting them financed, getting them attached to their house. It's very important because when they attach it to your house, now if you miss the payment, some companies now if you miss the payment on the solar panels, they can put a lien on your house.
What?
It's attached to your house.
What?
Yes.
They can put a lien on your.
They can put a lien on your house for not paying for that solar panel. Ridiculous. Now there are some people that are even going so far as to attach your solar panel payment to your mortgage.
Man.
Then your mortgage is a whole nother number.
What? No.
I'm not going to go into how much. It's too many problems to put it on my. I told him, look, I am fine.
Yeah.
Without saving this.
Exactly. I don't need
$130, $50, $200. I'm not trying to save the world with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. The solar panels. If I do solar panels, I'll ask them, look, hey, can I put it in my backyard? Is there like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can I put them like y'all do on the side of the turnpike? Because you're not gonna put this on my house and then have access to what I own.
Exactly. And then
you put yourself in a really bad situation.
You put yourself in, and see this is the thing. The whole thing about wisdom, you can't put yourself in positions where people can kind of control the narrative in your life. You've got to be able to create the narrative for your own life. That's the whole situation. Even with this whole OceanGate thing that kind of bothers me.
OceanGate.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, for instance, he was trying to create a narrative, right? But the thing is, he was bringing people down with him at the same time. This is the whole thing about being aware of your surroundings, aware of what's going on. Like, you can make decisions in your life that affect other people. You know what I'm saying?
Big time.
And you got to recognize that you can't be selfish in life and think, okay, I'm just going to do something. Because he was thinking, like, I don't mind risking my life. But you got to understand, you're risking somebody else's life.
Well, he got other people that believed in what he wanted to do, exactly. So they risked their lives together.
They risked their lives together, too, at the same time. Because, but see, this is the thing. When you start looking at somebody's credentials, because if you look at his credentials, engineering credentials, he has really good credentials. Mm-hmm. He's created planes. He's done it before. You know what I'm saying? But this time he went on the cheap with certain things. Maybe he didn't go on the cheap with the other stuff, but he went on the cheap. He was trying to do it at the least amount of spending money as possible on certain things. And spending money on the things he thought was more important. So when it comes to your life, you got to spend, it doesn't matter what money you spend to make yourself safe. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, then guess what? You're not around.
You're not around to make that happen. Man.
You know what I'm saying? You're not around to make it happen.
Let's get into how we leveled up this week.
Yeah.
Me personally, I looked at the dreaded options in my phone and looked at my screen time.
Yeah.
This is where a lot of people probably going to check out.
Yeah.
Okay? Those that are left.
Yeah, those are
that still checked in with us.
Don't really care about
we appreciate you. We love you. Look, understand that screen time. Go to your phone. Look how long you spend on your screen time. Just remember, you got 24 hours in a day. Yeah. You probably sleep 5 or 6 or 8 of those. So now you don't have those 24 no more. Now look at your screen time. I don't even calling out no numbers. I'm not calling out no numbers because I know the screen time is astronomical.
Yeah.
Unless you're just watching TV.
Yeah.
That's the other option. So I looked at my screen time and I was just like, man, this is an excessive amount of time
to be on the phone. Exactly. My daughter can't get off the phone. She's attacked. I went on my date one time. She lost her phone. It was like the world was ending, bro.
The spaz. I have a niece.
I felt the same thing too, because I was thinking about. She's like, my whole world is in this, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, what if I lose my phone? But you know, I have my stuff backed up, so I'm not worried about it too much. But at the same time, like, what did you do when you didn't have a phone? You know
this is true.
You know what I'm saying?
What would you do? That's the question you ask yourself sometimes. If you're looking to level up, you gotta get out of this. Yeah. For a little while. You gotta get out of this for a little while and just do real life stuff.
It's like a crutch, really.
It really is. It's scary.
Yeah, because when I leave my phone at home, sometimes like I have the anxious fear, but then actually at the same time, I feel like I've been free.
But the fact that you have an anxiousness about something that really supposed to be helping you.
Exactly.
Okay? Something that's supposed to be making your life better. If you leave it home, you lose it. Yeah. Like, I can't believe I left this home.
Exactly.
And it's like, it's crazy. And on top of it being the phone itself, there's a addictive component to this.
True.
I have a niece that is maybe like going to be a year old, and if she even sees the screen, it don't have to have nothing on it. The screen with the picture on it, she's locked in.
Wow.
She doesn't look at any of us. She's looking directly at the phone. You give her this phone and you take it away.
Of course.
She doesn't even know what it is. But the fact that what it is has her attention and has her basically her new emotions wrapped up in it now. It's scary to me, man. I'm like, no, don't give her the phone yet. No phones for her. Until a certain time, because she's spazzing out. And a lot of people will be like, oh, but she's a baby. And I'm a grown man that sees patterns and that can oversee situations. I see what things are, and I can see where things are going to be. Don't tell me, oh, it's just a baby. No. That's when you need to be paying attention the most. Because everything you show them is going to turn into something they do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's gonna shape their mindset and their perspective. Like, you know, like even with my daughter, you know, I'm like, hey, you want to watch TV? No, she'd rather be on the phone than watch the television. And I'm like, you don't want to watch TV? No, I don't want to watch TV. I'll be on my phone.
That's a different time, bro.
It's so weird. And then I realized when I'm dealing with certain individuals at certain age levels, they're not gonna call you back because I was thinking about this thing. Back, I'm sure you can remember this when there was. I don't know if you ever had a beeper. If you had, then you ain't in the generation. But if you ever had a beeper,
yeah.
You had a beeper before?
Yeah.
Okay. So you still there.
Beeper, two-way pager.
So if you ever had a beeper, and some of you don't even probably know what a beeper is
at all.
So there's a time when beepers are like the phone. They're basically the cell phone. So somebody beep you, you go and you look at it, had different patterns on it, just like you have on certain things, like emojis, and you go and you figure them out, and the numbers be all weird, you know what I'm saying? And then you go to a telephone, and you pick up the phone. So I realized there's so much of a different mentality when it comes to somebody calling you. Like I was getting upset with somebody who was a millennial for not calling me back, like even my daughter. And I'm realizing the emphasis with those individuals it wasn't that important to them.
It's not, because it's a different way. It's different. They don't know the way of have to call somebody.
Exactly.
Not just having they got different options that are more convenient.
Correct.
If I don't have to call you back and stutter over my words as a millennial and seem ashamed about what I have to say, and trying to express myself, these kids are not expressing themselves. They don't have the words. They
don't even write cursive in school, or teach cursive in school anymore. So I remember I used to receive letters from like this girl was in Jamaica, and I used to love getting that letter. I was like, man, and she wrote really well. I was like, in cursive, and I was like, this is beautiful. We don't have that anymore.
I'm sorry to say this, bro.
Yeah,
cursive was a waste of time. Cursive was a waste of time. As a teacher and an educator, now I see cursive was really a waste of time. We spent a lot of time learning how to, craft the drawing of letters. Instead of learning these other essential skills that we teaching right here in the podcast. Every day. We spent. I remember spending at least 20 minutes of class. Writing in cursive, learning to write in cursive, to now when I go somewhere, they just press a button. Or they ask Chat GPT. Y'all check that out. If you don't know what that is, it's a new thing now. They ask Chat GPT to write them a paragraph, a 300-word paragraph.
What?
Yeah. Bro, you gotta explain. We gotta do Chat GPT.
We gotta do a Chat
GPT is AI, artificial intelligence that you can ask certain questions to, and it will give you back a response that's uniquely its own.
What?
Yes, using whatever it knows. It's
scary.
Dumb, stupid, scary.
That's
you can ask it to do so many tasks and so many things. Bro, it's the next thing people don't know about, because we got people out here working at places where they don't even read the words to order your stuff no more. They press the picture. Okay? We are being slowly dumbed down, and that's what I mean by that's why this screen time thing was so important to me to level up on, is because I have to spend more time in order to be a part of the group of people that actually are making some type of money, making some moves. You can't be in this unless your whole business is in this.
Bro, sorry to cut you off. It's interesting when you start thinking about, like, when they have a revolution, right? Or there's a dictatorship, the first thing they do is they take out all the intellectuals.
Yes, sir.
And society, like any type of government or any type of form of control that has to be measured in any aspect, allows for a certain amount of dumbing down of the population. It has to be that way so they can get things under the radar. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You really can't stop individuals. You can't stop an idea. And see what happens when that idea starts to grow. You got to be able to culminate and be able to compress it and neutralize. Supposedly, like, there's like different presidents. Like every president has a different word for killing people. One is like neutralize. So every president has killed somebody, right? We don't realize that.
Yeah.
So every president has a different word for what they want to do. I can't tell you everybody's, but I think I don't remember what Obama's was, but I know one of the presidents, his favorite word was neutralize. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's kept like that word.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a